I am Fabio Messina, groom artist and creature effects artist, and today I will show you my latest project, the Godfeather, a library of Houdini nodes for feather grooming. I worked on characters with wings and body feathers in film productions like Maleficent Mistress of Evil and The One and Only Iron. Feather grooming is quite a challenging task for any groom department. Since those days I really wanted to create an ideal workflow for feather grooming. And now I can finally say that I have something that embodies my vision. These are the main features of the Godfeather. We will go through these one by one. Let's start with feather guides. We are in front of Houdini now and we can start with a live demonstration. We create a geometry node, let's rename it. Then we create a sphere to have something to put our feathers on. We are also adding a normal node to have normal on points. And now we can add our Godfeather groom in order to start working with our feather guides. We switch to the plant guides tool and we plant our first feather guide. This is visible as a wireframe only at the moment because it's lacking properties. We have to initialize some stuff. First, the number of points for each curve. Let's also give some shape to our first feather guide. And now we can activate the Godfeather mode for this node. This is activating additional features. The one we need right now is attribute creation, because we still have to add the width attribute to our guide feathers. Then we can select the width attribute from the drop-down menu under Attribute Setting. This section of the parameter interface behaves like an attribute editor. We will be able to select individual guides and tweak them, as if we were at object level. Let's move now to the geometry properties, starting with the sides. We can edit the sides on the left profile and the right profile with a ramp. And here we have our first feather guide. Let's make it nicer and tweak the width. We can now use all the usual brushes. Here we are using the screen brush, and as you can see, feather is getting oriented the right way as we are combing it. The profile is not the only element of the shape we can edit. There is a property for the curl effect as well. Again, we will need a curl attribute that is working as a multiplier, and we can edit the property using the ramp. The last geometry property we have to look at is twist. The twist attribute is adding a rotation to your feather guide. You can also rotate the feather from the root if you're not happy with the standard orientation you got. Editing a ramp is not always the most handy way to shape a feather guide. You can also do that interactively on the viewport. And this will work for the curl and the twist as well. Even if you're basically sculpting your feathers, all this stuff is non-destructive. Any moment you can go back to your ramp and reset these properties. New feather guides will be interpolated from the neighbors. Not only the shape of the spine will be interpolated, but all the geometry properties. Let's see now some practical usage of these feather guides for feather generation. We start creating a feather generator node. We connect this node to the skin and to the guides. And feathers will be scattered around the position of our only guide. We can change the density and the relax iterations. This works like the standard hair generator. Now we can keep adding and combing new guides. This is like working on a traditional groom, and the good point here is that you don't have to involve the modeling department. When working on body feathers, it can be useful to have some density compensation. We can use a Godfeather density node to tweak the original density attribute on our skin. Shorter guides will automatically generate a higher density. And of course, we can keep working on the geometry properties of individual guides. We can also do some additional processing on our generated feathers. We can add a noise or maybe a random scale. Or we can set up velocities to use guides out of action. The last bit I want to show you is another typical scenario, fly feathers. For fly feathers, like primaries and secondaries, scattering points is not the best option, because we need more accuracy. I'm using just 2 feather guides, blending between 2 different shapes. Then I'm generating feathers at specific locations. You can keep everything procedural if you build a small network to generate your points. And if any feather needs further refining, you can connect another Godfeather groom node on the generated ones and keep editing them one by one. That's all for the first part. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed the video, and in the next episode we're going to see how these geometry feathers will become actual feathers.